At Samsung's latest Unpacked extravaganza, we had our first glimpse of a whole heap of new Galaxy gizmos, and the stars of the show were undoubtedly these two big buggers here, the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra. Both of Samsung's big new blows will be released here in the UK and globally on August the 21st, and neither could be successfully described as cheap. The Galaxy Note 20 will cost you from £849, while the Ultra costs from £1,179. In other words, the Note 20 is a kidney and a lung, and for the Ultra you'll need to chuck in a few gold teeth as well. But if you love your smartphones to be large and shiny with a bit of bonus S Pen action on the side, then the Samsung Galaxy Note 20 series will definitely scratch that itch, with quite a few upgrades compared with last year's Note 10. So what actually is the difference between the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra, and is that Big Daddy really worth an upgrade? Well, here's a full in-depth look at the specs and features so you know exactly which one might be best for you. And for more on the latest greatest tech, please do plug subscribe and ding that notifications bell. Cheers! Now on the design side of things, not much has changed compared with the Note 10 series from last year. You once again get a glass finish on both phones as usual, and while the Note 20 is suitably tough with its Gorilla Glass 5 coating, that's been upgraded to the latest Gorilla Glass Victus on the Note 20 Ultra. And while Victus may sound like some sort of comedy Roman centurion, it's actually the toughest thing not to come out of Glasgow, able to withstand a 2-meter drop onto a hard surface without showing any signs of damage. It's basically just like Jason Statham and Vinnie Jones had some sort of infeasible love child. And you know the Victus has to be good because Conan tests it out with the expertly titled Mega Slapper. And let me tell you, I've dated a few of them in my time. So if you're a bit of a Butterfingers or your previous Samsung smartphones have ended up coated in scratches and chips, then maybe the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is the one for you. Now both of Samsung's new Notes boast an edge-to-edge display as usual, although on the standard Note 20, Samsung has shied away from the usual distinctive edge curvature, which makes sense to me. That flat screen will work better for sketching antics as well as gaming on the go. But if you do still love that bit of curvature, no worries, the Ultra model delivers those bendy edges with gusto. The standard Note 20 comes in a choice of 3 colours. You've got your signature Mystic Bronze effort, which is very lovely indeed. You've also got a Mystic Grey and a Mystic Green version. Meanwhile, the Ultra model comes in 3 different colours as well: Mystic Bronze, Mystic Black and Mystic White. So going with a bit of a mystic theme for the Note 20 series there, here's hoping the good old Mystic Meg comes out of retirement for the adverts. And yeah, that is a really obscure reference that probably only about 5% of you will actually understand, but watch, it'll still make the final edit. And as you'd expect from a Note device, those screens are absolute whoppers. You get a 6.7 incher on the Note 20, and that's boosted to a 6.9 inch on the Ultra. Very satisfying indeed. It's full dynamic AMOLED tech as usual, brighter than ever before, and those colours are super punchy. You got full HDR smarts too for nice strong contrast and natural looking colours, and as usual you got full customization in the display settings so you can tinker around with the likes of the colour output. However, for you media buffs, the Ultra does have the superior screen of the pair, starting with the resolution, because while the standard Note 20 tops out at Full HD+, the Ultra can be bumped all the way up to WQHD+ for really crisp visuals. Watch them side by side, you can definitely notice the difference. And while the Note 20 sadly tops off at a 60Hz refresh rate, the Ultra can be boosted all the way up to 120Hz. Although, as with the S20 flagship phones, you can only jump up to 120 if you drop the resolution to Full HD+. It is definitely a real shame that the standard Galaxy Note 20 doesn't offer even a 90Hz refresh rate like a lot of mid-range smartphones like the Moto G 5G Plus and the OnePlus Nord now do. Hell, even the Realme X50 5G costs just £300 and yet offers a 120Hz refresh rate. And yeah, it's not an essential feature by any means, but it just makes everything feel that little bit smoother and just gives you the idea that the performance is that much better. And if you're into your gaming, you'll also enjoy the Ultra because it's got a 240Hz touch response rate, so all those pokes and swipes and everything will be immediately registered. Definitely great for those life or death instant reaction situations of the likes of PUBG Mobile. Now the good news is both phones are only impeded by the dinkiest of selfie cam orifices, which once again stare at you from dead center. And both phones, of course, once again unsurprisingly sport an in-display fingerprint sensor of the ultrasonic variety, and no surprises that it seems incredibly responsive. You've also got full face recognition support as well, although that is slightly less useful in the current plaguey climate. Here in Blighty, we'll unfortunately get Samsung's own Exynos 990 platform stuffed inside the same chipset used in the Galaxy S20 flagship phones, while our lucky chums over in the States and in various other regions you'll get Qualcomm's Snapdragon 865 platform instead, which overall is more efficient for improved performance and battery life. And the standard Note 20 comes in just one flavour as far as the specs go. You've got 8 gigs of RAM plus 256 gigs of storage, and sadly no expandability via micro SD. The Ultra bumps that up to a whopping 12 gigabytes of RAM. You get 256 gigs of storage in the standard version, but you can throw more cash at Samsung to double that to 512 gigs of storage. And with the Ultra, you also get the added bonus of microSD memory card support as well, up to 1 terabyte in size, so you can really pack that thing full of whatever you want. However, with the standard Note 20, you do get a choice of whether you want just bog standard 4G or whether you want a nice bit of future proofing with 5G as well, which again will cost you a little bit more, although the rest of the specs stay the same with that 5G model. In the case of the Note 20 Ultra, it's just 5G all the way. It's sub 6 in all cases, and you also get a nice bit of Wi-Fi 6 support on there as well. On the battery front, you get a respectable 4300 mAh cell on the Note 20 and a slight boost to a 4500 mAh capacity battery on the Ultra, which isn't quite as big as the 5000 mAh whopper of the S20 Ultra, but hopefully it'll still keep you going for an intensive day. You get a pretty standard form of fast charger with both of these smartphones as well. You get around 50% charge in 30 minutes, so nothing too trouser moistening, but certainly not bad. And you've also got full support for 15-watt wireless charging, and of course Samsung's power share feature is back on board as well, so you can slap your Galaxy Buds or whatever else on the back of it and they will wirelessly charge on the go. And of course, these wouldn't be Note smartphones without a good bit of S Pen action, and that S Pen has been upgraded from last year as well. So now you've got a latency of just 9 milliseconds down from 40 on the Note 10, which is ideal for sketch and hijinks. It really does feel impressively natural when you swish that ultra-fine tip on the Note 20's display. The usual air actions are once again in place as well, complete with full customization on what each action actually does. Just push that dinky button on the side of the stylus and wave the S Pen like a wand and thy will be done. And both of these phones come with the Samsung Notes 2 app, which supports Samsung's Notes Sync feature. And what that means is basically all of your documents will be saved immediately to the cloud, so you can access them from any other device, PC, smartphone, whatever, using your Samsung account. And you can import a range of file types, including PDFs, and annotate them before sharing them as PDF, Word docs, and now even PowerPoint slideshows as well. And I really like the auto straighten feature as well, which is pretty handy. That'll sort out any messily scribbled notes, and you can attach voice recordings synced with your annotations too. And as you'd expect from such premium smartphones, both of the Note 20s are absolutely stuffed to the gills with more awesome bonus bits. For one, they'll both support the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription service, which will allow you to stream over 100 console quality games direct from the cloud onto your Galaxy Note device, complete with full support for the Xbox controller. And the Ultra model also supports Samsung's new point to share feature, which uses the same ultra wideband tech found in the Apple iPhone 11. This allows you to vaguely point your Ultra at another compatible device and instantly share files or whatever you want. So pretty similar on the feature front there, but you do get different chunks of camera hardware depending on which Galaxy Note 20 handset you nab. And you can tell the Ultra has got to be better because it's a proper chunky beast slapped there on the back end. So the Note 20's 12 megapixel primary lens is replaced with a mega 108 megapixel shooter on the Ultra, but both have a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens. The Ultra sports a 12 megapixel telephoto lens offering a 5x optical zoom, while the standard Note just uses a 64 megapixel lens for distant shots and then crops in. So while with the Ultra you can do a 50x zoom, the standard Note 20 tops off at 30x. Now the hardware might be a bit different, but crucially a lot of the camera features and the camera experience in general is basically the same. You've got the same upgraded laser autofocus on both of these Notes for super fast focusing, and that certainly seemed to work a treat in my hands-on session. Good old single take from the S20 is back in action again, although it's now customizable so you can set it between 5 to 15 seconds. And you get plenty of other camera features slapped on both the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra. As usual, it's the same lineup on both. However, as usual with Samsung smartphones, it's the video chops where it really impresses. In your standard video mode, you can shoot up to 4K resolution video at either 30 or 60 frames per second, meanwhile skipping between the different lenses and capturing sharp detailed photos at the same time. And you've also got an HDR10 Plus option too when the lighting conditions really suck bums. However, the Pro Video mode is where it's all at. In this mode, you can once again capture up to 8K resolution home movies, but now in a 21:9 cinematic format as well as the standard 16:9. And you've also got complete control over the audio capture while you're filming, so you can record sound coming from all directions or concentrate solely on audio in front or behind the phone. And I really love the new super intuitive and super smooth zoom feature as well, which allows you to slowly pan in and out of a shot or just crash zoom to your heart's content. I think any budding cinematographers who don't want to splash out on a crazy DSLR or anything like that will definitely get a major kick out of those Note 20 handsets. And if you're into your Instagrams, it's a 10 megapixel selfie snapper on both the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra. And there you have it, that's how the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra stack up for specs, features and everything else you need to know ahead of my in-depth reviews. Certainly so far, looks like some very premium tech. It's a bit of a shame the Note 20, as I say, lacks the 120Hz display, WQHD plus resolution, things like that. But which one are you most tempted by? This is what I'm really looking forward to hearing. Definitely please slap your comments down below. Poke subscribe, ding that notifications bell if you haven't already, and I'll be bringing you lots more sexy Samsung content in the near future. Cheers everyone, love you!